Okay, so this is the third quarter market report for Washtenaw County for 2018. We've really enjoyed, for the last 8 years, a recovery of wonderful numbers for the housing market. Values have been up. We're back to pre-recession levels, and actually many markets above pre-recession levels. Number of transactions have been amazingly strong. So in all, we've had a really good ride, but the reality is the market is changing direction. We've been seeing it developing all year, and we're seeing it now really start to take hold as we come into the fall market. And what we're seeing is a combination of a couple of things. Interest rates are up and values are up, so that makes affordability down. If it costs more to own a home because the interest rates are higher and because values are more, and that's going to take a little momentum out of the market. In fact, we saw this in 2017 to 18. This year we saw it in 2015 to 16, and then 14 to 13. In each case, interest rates went up somewhere between 3/4 to a percentage point, and values and demand settled. And if you do the math is pretty simple. It's for every 1% rise in interest rates is a 10% decline in demand. We haven't seen that. In those other declines, it was more in the 3 to 4% range, and this year it's maybe 5 to 6% range. The reason is because other good things are happening. The economy is still strong, jobs are still being created, and incomes are starting to rise a little bit. But what we're seeing now is that the number of jobs being created is slowing because the economy is pretty much near full employment. So we're not getting that boost of home ownership for people getting additional jobs. Really, our key to fuel going forward with home values is going to be household income increase. And that's been going very slowly. So that expectation of that will certainly solve the issue of values going up and interest rates going up and take some of that sting out. But we can anticipate, at least for the next quarter and maybe through next year, a little slower market because we're a little bit out of balance. Values and costs of owning a home are rising faster than incomes are to cover that. So in general, what we'll see is for sellers particularly, you're going to see settling in the market. This time of year the market settles a little bit anyways in terms of activity. You're going to see that a little more this year. Sales year over year have settled throughout the year in all price ranges. So you're going to see a little bit of that going to this year. So expect, depending on the price range, the lower price range is probably fewer multiple offers, but still a strong market. In the middle price range, you'll expect more of a balanced market. In the upper price range, you'll expect probably fewer showings, in all cases fewer showings than you saw this time last year. In general, it's a strong market for sellers, but we're shifting more to a balanced market. In the upper end, we're sliding more towards a buyer's market in many instances. What you're seeing in the upper end often is the difference between, and really it's across all price ranges, but we're seeing it more in the upper end. We're seeing the difference between move-in ready, which is a home that's been updated for kitchens and baths, and maybe the exterior landscaping's been updated, but it's an updated home that's going to attract more attention, and people are paying a premium for that. So in the upper end, you're seeing values rise in that type of home. Whereas homes that are maybe a little dated or haven't had those updates done, you're seeing those homes sit in the market a lot longer and actually decline in value. Now, in the lower price ranges, there's not a lot of home choices, so that difference isn't as stark in the lower prices. But as you get to a higher price range, you're seeing more and more of that. So as a seller, you need to understand where you are in the marketplace, understand the number of homes you're competing with, and that's where your realtor comes in to help walk you through the process. You know exactly where you are. On the buying side, for the same reason, we're going into market with more to choose from. So if you've been a buyer sitting on the fence because it just hasn't been much to choose from, now's the time to look in the marketplace and see there'll be some additional homes coming on the market. The number of new homes entering the market is rising, so you may find opportunities there. Also, for homes that have been on the market 60 days or more, 90 days or more, look at those homes. You may have walked by them before because you're chasing those new homes in the market with the updates. But with the market slowing a little bit, you might find sellers more receptive in terms or price or condition. So don't forget those properties. This is a good time to be looking for a home right now. It's also a good time to be selling in terms of there's There's still a shortage of homes in most price ranges, particularly under $500,000. So you get good activity this time of year. So overall, a changing market in direction, settling market. We'll see that we'll have that continues into next year. Probably we're anticipating it will until home values and home incomes rise to meet the increase in home values. But overall, we're having a good real estate year, just slowing, so you have to adjust your expectations to a new direction in the market. Okay, so the numbers for Washtenaw County for the last quarter. In general, it was a good quarter across all price ranges for Washtenaw County. Values were up across all price ranges, and we break the market up into under 250, 250 to 500, and 500 and above. And the price increases were the highest at the lower end and the lowest at the upper end. So about a 1% increase at the above $500,000 and about a 5% increase at under 250, and you'd expect that. Inventories under 250 have been declining for the last 2 years. They continue to decline, all that though at a slower pace. So new listings are coming in a little faster than they were last year, still slowing compared to, in terms of the number of listings, they're a little less than last year, but it was about a 5% decline this year, and a year ago it was about a 12% decline. So that lower end is still being squeezed by not a lot of choice, by interest rates going up and prices going up. So we're actually seeing a little squeeze in demand there too, and the people are just making it a little hard to afford that price range. Middle market and the upper end both, number of inventory, number of homes for sale is rising. So that means there's more to choose from, and what that really causes a little bit of jump in number of sales because it gave more inventory and more people kind of getting off the fence. But in terms of the upper end, we saw quite a big jump in inventory, so therefore we saw values not rise as much because there was more competition for that. To give you an idea of sort of the ratio of visual velocity where things are, in the under 250, it's about 3 listings for every sale for the last quarter. For the 250 to 500, it's about 5 listings for every sale. And the 500 above, it's about 10 listings for every sale. You go to $1 million and above for Washtenaw County, it's 20 listings for every sale. So if you're in whatever price range you're in, you can get an idea of the competition you have, and obviously the more listings per buyer, the more competition, the less likely values will be rising, they'll be flat to declining in those markets, and the other way around for the lower price range.